Now we are on live. Yes, we are. And it is hashtag Love Right Create. And I'm Kelly Ross. And I have some amazing people with me as usual. The lovely Morgan Wiley
Yay.
Hello.
and the awesome Gabby Robbins.
What's up?
And tonight we are talking about the holidays because I don't know if y'all are thinking this way, but I woke up one morning and everybody was talking about Christmas and we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet.
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
crazy.
So I have friends decorating. I have for Christmas, that is. I have already planned stuff with my family that we're doing in December when I'm back in Texas. It's like really overwhelming because I'm trying to do a version of NaNoWriMo. Like it's NaNoWriMo in my head, but it's half the word count.
Yeah.
What NaNoWriMo is. Oh my gosh, I'm a loser. And so, but the thing is that I feel like that as much as I want NaNoWriMo to be overwhelming in my schedule and my calendar, all of this stuff with the holidays is pushing through, and I'm sure you guys are feeling that. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and of course, for us and for a lot of people, it's not just our schedules, it's also our family schedules that have to kind of wiggle their way into our writing schedule. So tonight we're going to talk about what you can do, maybe some tips to really keep up with the writing. And then also we're going to talk a little bit about what everyone's reading for the holidays, because I always find that fascinating. And maybe what you're reading, not just writing as far as novels are concerned, but what maybe you're going to be blogging about. I think that could be kind of fun. And then also just maybe what else is on the docket. If it's conferences, if it's promotions with your books, that kind of stuff. I find all of that very fascinating, especially because it's my first holiday season with a published novel, which is crazy to think about. So let's start off with writing. Are you ready? This is going to be a tough one because you're going to have to be honest. I want to know roughly how many words you're writing each week right now. Be honest. Gabby, what was that noise? Was that the number that you
Yeah,
just said?
pretty much. I mean, the last couple weeks have been madness at work. I actually haven't really been home a ton the last couple of weeks. So I have done a lot of really cool brainstorming on planes when I've had my hood up and trying to sleep, and people are talking really loudly around me, and had some really interesting thoughts about what I would do if I were a siren on a plane with some crazy people. But other than that, I haven't had a lot of actual word counts done because I have had a crazy couple weeks with work. So sadly, it's probably nothing I can even report.
Okay, so I want to clarify here. With NaNoWriMo, it is every word you write. Like, they're very adamant about just encouraging and being enthusiastic about you just writing words. Like, whether it's an outline, whether it's, rough draft, whether it's notes, anything. So I do recall a conversation where you were talking about how you stayed up one night and just made notes and stuff. That counts.
Yes.
That really counts. I think as writers, we think it has to be words that will be in a book someday, but I think that we need to be very uplifting and make sure that we count those words because they mean something.
Yeah. I mean, on the
Okay.
plane, I did get a little bit more done as far as some issues I was having with my plots because I just kind of had to sit there and write. I couldn't sleep. And I was very inspired on the angry side of things by the people around me. So it worked, but I mean, maybe 500 words tops, with just different things that I was jotting down and just the things I've gotten to actually sit down and think through. That's probably been it this last couple of weeks.
Okay. What about you, Morgan?
Well, okay, and this is a little not normal for me. On the other extreme side of things, I am on a self-imposed deadline. So I think I've done about 10 to 12 this last week.
1,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
I almost spit out my half and half.
I've been working hard and trying to get this book done.
That's awesome. That is like, you just blew my mind, and now I'm going to have a pity party.
No, don't do that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I was finding, because I actually didn't give a lot of big chunks of time. I found I had an hour here, and I just started doing it. Instead of trying to get all into it, I just kind of kept going. So I had an hour here, and then I had a half hour here, and I had 3 hours here. But I started just trying to fit it in more, which actually will lead into my new strategy for the holidays. But it seemed to keep things flowing for me mentally, because even though I didn't get very far during one chunk of time, I was able to keep it moving throughout the day, and then into the week. So I don't know. I'm going to start pushing myself a little more even after this, deadline is done, but to get more words in that way.
Cool.
I love that. I mean, I think it's great. I was writing in a hair salon the other day, waiting for Lila to finish getting her hair cut.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What were you going to say, Gabby?
What?
That one right there with the glass. Wait, we both have glasses on tonight. Gabby was about to say something.
No,
I cut her off.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, sorry. Morgan?
No, I was just going to say, I went in to NaNoWriMo thinking I'm going to do this. I did kind of like Gabby, because I was on vacation, so on the plane I had, I wrote in my notebook for this other project that I was starting, but then I kind of just decided to focus on getting this book done. So I'm not really counting it, although I guess I could be now.
Yeah. Well, and I haven't had time to count in, but I've also, this is one reason that I haven't, because I know I would fudge a little bit on it, and it's that I have been handwriting a ton of stuff this week. I grabbed a spiral notebook and decided, because I was not sitting in one place for an extended period of time, I was going to just carry that notebook with me and then dictate it later. And it has worked really well for me, especially to get some dialogue out, to get some thoughts that don't even work. Like, I have some pages that I've like crossed 4 or 5 lines out after writing it. Like, no, that won't work. So yeah, I mean, I think that as far as getting some work done, this whole idea, and I'm probably not doing it to the extent that you are at this point, but it really has kept my brain space in the right place. I'm not quite as scattered as I normally am, and I don't feel like I have to like read the last chapter to get back into the mode, because I'm just constantly putting notes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so here we go. Now that we know where we've been in the last couple of weeks, where do we want to be? I'll ask how you're going to do it in a minute. Don't feel like you have to have the answer right now, because I think we can help each other with brainstorming that. But I do want to know, what is your goal over the next few months? Because I know a lot of writers that take the whole month of December off. Like, I've seen it on Facebook. I've talked to authors that they're like, yeah, I'm publishing a book in November, so I am out in December. I take the whole month off, which is so cool. But that's when I have a big chunk of time off of school from teaching. So that's when I'm thinking I'm going to get more writing done. So what is your goal over the holidays? Is it the same? Is it different than your normal writing goal? What about you, Miss Gabby?
I have some traveling I'm going to be doing in November, and usually where we go to hang out, there's not much done during the day, and that's where I actually have gotten the most reading done. Like, some of the most epic books I have, like the big books, has been on holidays, like going up to visit my in-laws. So I guess I'm not taking books, because if I do, I will read the entire time. I'm not one to stop once I start. So what I was kind of hoping to do was either just take a notebook or take my computer up. I'm obviously going to have to take my computer up. But because I will have a couple of days of, like, I won't have to clean or cook or anything, that I can just write. So I plan on that. December is going to be harder for me because I'll be here and we'll be doing Christmas here at home. Not harder in the sense, but I mean, I'll have my normal stuff to do. So hoping that when the kids are playing with toys and all of that, I can just snuggle up and get some writing done. I don't know how that's going to play out yet because I've never really made that time a priority for writing. My kids are bigger now, so I'm sure after they get all their stuff, they're going to be hiding in their hidey holes playing with their toys, so that's kind of the goal. We'll see how that all works. I'm not sure yet.
Do you feel like it would be okay to set a word count goal for yourself? Like maybe a weekly one, not a daily one, but maybe a weekly goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, I feel like if I don't do something, it's going to keep getting pushed off, because there's always something that I could be doing as far as the kids are concerned. Two, we homeschool, so there's so much more that goes into what we do during the day and when I get home. So I think I need to, and I feel like for my family, it's become a bigger priority where it's bad when your kids are asking when your book is going to be done because they know that you're doing it. So yeah, I feel like we could do it. I could make myself a goal. I'm not sure what that is right now. I haven't really thought about it at all, but yeah, I think it would be possible.
Think about it right now because I'm coming back.
Right now.
I want you to think about it while Morgan's talking because I'm coming back to you. And I want you to think about it and find a safe place. Like I want you to find a safe word count zone, and so that, are you ready? I'm about to go football. So that every week you'll be like, touchdown. You know what I mean? Like
Football?
Yeah, sorry, it's been on in the house all day. But
All day.
I don't really watch it, but it's been on all day. But I want you to think about like a safe zone, word zone, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, Morgan, what kind of goals are you going to set for yourself over the next I say 2 months, but we're already in November. Like, how does this happen?
Okay, goals. Well, I had kind of, a month ago, I had kind of scheduled out really my goals for the next year as far as books, book releases, things like that. So I'm the only thing I think I'm changing for the holidays is just focusing more on finding the little bits of time. We are, back home where family is now, so there are going to be more events and parties, occasions. My sister-in-law is having a baby, so we've got showers. So I do have more things happening socially that I didn't last year. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me but I'm determined to find the crevices to write. So I don't know if I even answered that question.
I want a word count zone. I want like a happy zone, happy place.
For the weekly?
For the next, let's say 6 weeks, that you could say this is my word count goal for the next 6 weeks.
Okay, quick math. Let me think. I am really going to push myself to try to get, having done it this week and seeing it, I'm going to try to get myself to do 10,000 a week. So 6 weeks, 60,000. That could be an entire book if I was able to, stay on top of that.
So I feel like there needs to be a disclaimer here for like our watchers that this is lightning fingers we're talking about here.
Yeah, she is lightning fingers.
Like we'll do a 20-minute sprint and she's like, I finished the book. And I'm like, sure. I mean, I'm just saying. So for those that are watching that are feeling like poop because they're like, 10,000 words? Like, how is that going to happen?
Okay, and that might be ambitious of me. So that's a new thing for me, but I feel like I attained it this week. And I thought, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try.
I say go for it. I think it's awesome. I think it's so awesome. And I think that through talking about this, my goal and my hope for the people watching is not only that we have accountability, but also that they can have some, because if they see our range, of what we hope to get accomplished over this holiday season, that they might set some goals themselves. It's going to require some changes, though, which that's what we're going to talk about next. But don't forget, I forgot about you, Gabby.
What?
Where are you?
What?
I need a word count, like a little happy word count zone.
Okay, mine cannot be as high as you guys because I don't have full
No,
free
you have a
days.
full-time job, and no, I mean there's variations. There's
Okay.
great.
And so here, this is me hoping that even some days when I can't get a ton done, that I'm going to get some more done like on weekends and things. So my goal for a week will be like 2,800 words. I know that doesn't feel like a lot, but for right now, I just feel like I need to have
Chapter.
something to kind of, and if I do better than that, awesome. But I'm hoping that if I get into the habit of just trying to do it daily, instead of trying to get big blocks of time like Morgan said, that hopefully I'll eventually just get there. I will say this. We've talked about, we're going to probably talk about more conventions and things, but the fact that I was invited to be on a panel has kind of given me a little bit of a goal to make sure that not only am I writing, but that my blog is kind of being updated because they're going to put all of our info up there. So I kind of want to do a blog post a week at least, along with if we want to do Love Write Create stuff, and then just make sure that my social media isn't just totally lame, which it has been. So that proves to you that I'm not just sitting around on social media. I don't even have time for that. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of give myself a goal when I sit down to write that I'm making sure I, do all that stuff too. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for right now, though.
I think that's great. You really do.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll go there, and I was actually going to say 5K, and then Morgan spoke her words of like,
Right.
and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I could push myself and do 6 or 7K, but it wouldn't be in my happy zone. Like, it wouldn't make me happy. I'd be stressed out. So my happy zone is going to be 5,000 words a week, and then that way I can impress myself and do more than that every week.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll say my happy zone is maybe 8, but I'm really shooting for 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason that I'm saying that is not because I'm a cop-out, but it's because I'm a firm believer in the idea of rewarding myself. Like, if I feel good about it, then I'm more likely to do it. But when I feel stressed out about it, I tend to eat more chocolate, and that's not right. So I'm just being honest. Okay. So with that, and Gabby, you talked about blog posts. I want to talk about that too. But before we go there, I want to kind of direct our thoughts to how we're going to achieve this goal. Because sometimes we set these things and then we take a few days and we haven't done anything, and then we get through it and we're a few hundred short or whatever, and you're like so disappointed. It's like, why should I do it again next week? I'm just going to fail again. And then it's this vicious cycle. I want to try and come up with a few little tips, just things that are working for us. Morgan, you already gave us a really great one with just writing bits and pieces, but are there things that work for you that maybe you can make a point of doing it more often over the next few weeks to get these goals achieved? Things that you can do through the holidays. Can y'all think of anything?
Well, here's just a little practical one that I did for myself this weekend. I was going to a friend's birthday party, and, well, my babysitter bailed, so my husband stayed home so that I could go to the party, which was awesome. But I left an hour early, stopped at the coffee shop, and got some words in, and then went to the party. And tomorrow I'm having coffee with a friend. I'm going to leave an hour early and go and sit there and write while I wait for her. And then, so I'm just finding pockets. So it kind of goes with what I already said, but practical.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. One thing I thought about doing, and I don't hold me to this yet, I think I might try it like once or twice this week. We'll see. I thought about with the time change. It is like so sunny, and I am waking up at 6:30, which if y'all know me. I like my morning sleep because I like to be awake at night. But I've been waking up a little bit earlier. And the way that our schedule works out is my husband takes my son to school and I take my daughter to school. So I actually don't leave the house until after 8 o'clock. And with me waking up early, I thought maybe I could squeeze in 45 minutes to an hour every morning of writing. Even if it's blogging or journaling or getting prepared for a longer, you know, sit down of writing. But I thought, you know, if I did that every morning with 200 words, like that's not even nothing. That's a paragraph, okay? If I did that every morning, that could be in a week over 1,000 words, which is half a chapter. You know, so that kind of thing. I thought there are some people that tweet in the mornings, and it's a bunch of authors that wake up an hour early than their normal get ready time, and they write every morning and they tweet about it. And I thought I could maybe do that. Like, and I should be working out. Let's be honest. But right now in the holiday season, starting to get cold outside, might as well write.
Right.
I
agree.
Gabby, what about you? What works for you?
I think if I actually, like, after I get off of this call, just sit down and plan out my writing times, I usually do good if I have a list of stuff. I'll cross off the list. And that's the best way before we have a party or before we're leaving town, we get a big whiteboard out and we make a list. And I just need to do that for myself weekly so that I'm not, because I'm constantly thinking of all the things I need to do, and I just do without really planning it out. So if I can, after I get off of this call, sit down and just really plan out the week, I'm going to try to make sure that I at least get those times set, like planned before the week starts, so that I don't kind of just let them fall to the wayside because, you know, something else feels more important at that time. So hopefully that'll work.
Yeah, I think it's important to plan it out. I'm very guilty of just winging it, and then the week goes by and I'm like, oh, I could have totally written instead of watching some show on television. But then I miss my show, and then I'm like,
it's so hard right now. I probably have like 25 television shows I have not touched on my DVR, and it's like calling to me. And it's so hard because if I go up there, I won't come out till all of them are done. And it's really bad. So, and Hulu's calling to me because of Forever. Like, there's so many distractions. I'm trying so hard. Like, I've not bought any books, and I have Amazon credit right now because it was my birthday. I'm trying so hard to not be distracted and not, like, I didn't bring a book on this trip because I thought I would write, but I was so exhausted that trip home, I just wanted to sleep. But then obviously the writing gods had something else up their sleeves because I couldn't sleep, and so I sat there and, you know, did some plotting and some, you know, a little bit of writing. But yeah, I've been trying really hard, and it's hard to not be distracted. There's so many books, people.
So many.
Well, and they say a good writer is also a good reader. So I think that it's important that we read, but I think it's also, at least for me, it works as a reward. So if I finish 2 chapters, I get to take a break and read a book one day or 2 days, depending on the size of the book and my schedule. But it's one of those things, I think if you can manage that, it does make you want to get in front of your computer or your notebook and write some, because you have something to look forward to.
I also have started putting my Kindle on my elliptical, and so then I can only get my Kindle when I'm on the elliptical, and that worked for a while. But then I was like, I'll just read it on my phone. Never mind.
Never mind. It's too convenient.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how we think our culture makes everything so much easier, but it actually makes things more difficult?
Yes.
There are too many choices.
Too many.
I agree with that.
Morgan, do you have another tip?
Shoot.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
But I think I just lost it. Crap. No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. I just wanted to check with you before I changed the subject or added another one.
I'm still work in progress. I don't know.
No, you're fine. I think that that one thing that tends to help me is, and we've talked about this so many times, like even when I don't have a notebook with me or I'm somewhere and I have an idea, I tend to email myself or put a note in my notes on my phone or make a document in Evernote or just all that kind of stuff. Those are just things that keep you interested in your story. And I think during the holidays, we're all going to find that there's going to be a ton of distraction, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's parties, whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning, whether it's traveling. And so if we can keep our mindset in the story, whether it's just thinking about, oh, this character likes pecan pie, and just writing it down and having it so that it's sitting there every time you look at your phone or check your email, that kind of stuff for me helps because I'm being mindful of the story. And then when I do sit down, it's not so hard to sit down and just jump in writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we have goals. We have a few tips to help us with those goals. And there are other types of writing that can also be done. As important as our novels are to finish, there is also this thing called blogging. I think I should have to look it up in the dictionary. I've been so bad about it lately. What are you guys blogging this holiday season? What was that snicker for? I heard it.
Well, I'm trying to blog this holiday season, but we'll see how well that goes. I mean, I know that I've started recognizing that the things that are inspiring to me, because my book is about inspiration, I'm like, why the crap am I not just writing about that in my blog? You know, Austin Kleon does that. He does a list of his top 10 things, which are just things that he loves, but for me, it's inspiration. The funny thing is I'm always like, it's always something so different. It's like music, or it's a TV show, or a character, or, something I saw, like a purse, like a fashion thing, or, a car, or just weird random things that I'm like, especially YouTube. And I think to myself, why am I not talking about this? This could be a post about, things that inspire me for Enigma, and
totally.
why am I not talking about it? So I've started to write down notes of things that I'm really digging. You know me, I get on my kicks of like, I love this right now. So I think that's going to be kind of what I'm going to try to blog weekly, along with talking about Love, Write, Create. So hopefully that'll be 2 blogs a week, which that's really high hopes, but that's kind of what my goal will be. And then just, posting things on Instagram and Twitter and things like that, just to continue the whole like inspire Enigma, and just try to kind of keep the message going, so that it's not only encouraging to me, but I have a lot of friends that are like, every time you post something on Pinterest, it makes me really want to read your book. Well, how are you doing? And then it's such an encouragement to me that people actually take me seriously and care, my friends, that they're encouraging me to continue it because they really want to read it. So
cool.
I'm hoping it's a kind of a cyclical thing, and that I actually get stuff done that way. It doesn't just distract me.
All right, Morgan, what about you? What are you blogging?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm going to have to look up the definition of that again. Well, this week I am a part of the Blogger Book Fair, which is a pretty large blog hop it's all regarding speculative fiction this week. So in that, however many people are involved, they each get 5 names. So every day I put up a post. Really, it's for other authors. So I'm introducing my readers to new authors, and then they do the same for me. So it's not really me coming up with a post, but I am posting something. So it probably doesn't really count. But as Gabby was talking about what inspires her for her book and writing about that, I just now started thinking about, well, what could I blog about? I do not specialize in blogging, but it's something I need to get better at. So I started thinking about, well, my books, the series right now, it's focusing on the journey. It's kind of my thing right now is the journey, and so I thought, well, maybe I could start blogging about, even specific to my book, maybe I could start blogging about like the different places that they go, or to introduce the areas and territories in my world, or I don't know. I'm totally just off the top of my head at the moment.
Well, if you're talking a lot about journey right now in your book, you can always tie that into your journey, like of tell your story, of writing the book, and then moving here and us, and then moving back, and how much you miss us, and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Talk about your journey.
That's good. I'm glad you said that, because actually I have thought about that, and then I think I got overwhelmed with it. But I think if I could break it down and kind of piece it together instead of just a blah, here's my whole, but just bits, just trying to incorporate me into
Right. Because that'll connect you, and this is just purely coming from a reader standpoint. I love, love, love to hear how somebody started a book and how they got it accomplished. Obviously, mine's a little more specific in the fact that I want to know that I'm not the only one that took 7,000 years to write a book. But I feel like, I think it's interesting, people want to know what's happening. I feel like in the time of YouTube where people are daily vlogging and all of that, people are interested in what happens on a daily basis in the life of somebody that you're interested in their characters, because you want just a little bit of insight into who that person is. I've even considered vlogging once a week about the struggles, the frustration, because mine's a lot more an internal battle of the perfection, procrastination, everyday stuff that I'm trying so hard to do it all the right way that I don't get anything done. Right. And that's not okay, but I'm sure that happens to a lot of people.
Oh, and yeah, for sure.
Sure that whatever you're going through and struggling with, having a little one at home most of the days of the week, and stuff like that, I think it's interesting. I think people want to know about it. And so, I feel like when you're I'm not great at blogging, telling your story might be a good way to kind of get that going. That would be really fun, for people to hear.
Yeah, I like that.
If you need to interview me for any reason, you just let me know.
Okay.
Well, that's a great segue into what I'm going to be blogging about.
There you go.
So this last week I started a little thing called Thankful Thursday.
Cool.
In the past, I've always done every day in November or something I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
Or just spotlighting that somehow, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or my blog, whatever. So this year I thought I would, through the entire holiday, because I kind of have this little pet peeve right now about how Thanksgiving is just butted up against this huge marketing monopoly of let's be thankful, and then right after you eat your turkey dinner, spend all your money and go buy a bunch of stuff.
Trample on people to get a television. It's awful.
Well, I want to extend my thankfulness, I guess is the best way to put it. It's not about judging others, but it's for me personally, to stop being done being thankful on Thanksgiving Day. So for me, I'm going to extend Thankful Thursday all the way to the end of the year. So you guys be expecting those interview questions. But I'm giving authors and friends the opportunity to either answer questions or do a guest blog post. And I thought it would be super fun. Last week, KP Simmons, she was my, don't tell her I said this, she was my guinea pig. And she was totally open to it. So it worked out really well. And it's so fun because we've known each other since college. And I totally got to do some Throwback Thursday pictures with the Thankful Thursday.
Cool. Yeah, fun.
And so it kind of went hand in hand. So I'm planning to do that every Thursday. But then on a writerly note, I am hoping to pick back up with my Factoid Fridays, which I started and then just lost momentum. And essentially it's going to be taking either a character or a setting or something from Descent and spotlighting it each Friday and providing some more facts to kind of back up and maybe give a little bit of backstory what the book starts from. And it's one of those things where my first one I did was Mateo, who's one of the main characters, and it's I know, I know his favorite food, and I know his favorite color, and I know what he does when he doesn't have to mow lawns all day long. I know that kind of stuff. So what his favorite song is, just silly things like that. And because I'm ridiculous and do writing exercises about all these things so that when I write the book, it actually sounds like a real person. But so I'm hoping to do that for my cast of characters on Fridays. And I think it'll be fun because I'm back in that story writing the second book. So it's all fresh on my mind, which is really cool. So those are my two big ones. And I have a few other little ideas, but I don't know if I want to commit to them by saying them out loud. I'm horrible about that. Like, I have a million ideas, and I'll spout them all off, and then someone will, like, a year later, well, whatever happened to that idea? And I'm like, oh, it was. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Like, it lived in my brain for a few minutes, and then it never came back. But those are some big things. Like, I feel like, Morgan, like you said, you planned all of next year. I feel like I want to do that, but I feel like I need to get through this season and just really focus on right now, because we'll come back and we'll have another Love, Write, Create video where we talk about conventions for next year and what our goals are. And I really want to do that, but at the same time, I feel like that I do it for next year or I do it for next month. I never do it for today, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons I'm really bad at achieving these goals. So anyway, I didn't mean to go all like serious and stuff. Sorry.
No, that's a good point. Hey, so can watchers, anybody, can we jump in on, say, that hashtag and just even like Twitter or on Instagram, just be doing, Thankful Thursdays and kind of make it a thing?
Yeah, I made it up, so sure. It's one of those things where someday I think that I hashtag everything, and someday one of them is going to catch on like wildfire, and people are going to be like, where did that come from? And no one will ever know, but I will. Like, in my heart, I will be so excited. But but I thought it rhymed, and I'm all about alliteration, so it worked for me. But yes, I'm totally fine with that. Go for it, because I think it's cool, and for me, it's people. I'm doing people this year. So I even told my husband, I said, you're not an author, you're not technically a writer per se, but you might have to be on my blog for Thankful Thursday. Like
fun
little things like that. I think as a reader, I would love, not in a soccer-y way, but I would love to know about the relationship between some authors and their husbands, because they talk about them, or that. So I think that will be a fun one to do.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I like that.
So that's happened. That is happening. Some of my ideas are not happening yet. We'll see. But I feel like we've been talking forever, but I have some more stuff to talk about. Are y'all okay to keep going?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. So we talked about writing. We've kind of touched on reading and the fact that we're going to try and write more than we read this holiday season, which is really tough. So I'm not even going to tempt either one of you. I see that face. That face. Look right there in the corner, Gabby's face. It's one of those things where I'm not going to tempt you to ask what you're going to be reading, because there's a lot to read right now.
A lot.
And but I do want to talk about promotional and bookish things when it comes to selling books, because Morgan and I were actually on a call last week, and it's not that I think we should give tips on how to do it. That's what the call was about. But I do, especially as a reader, want to talk about when we're in this season, what catches our eye? What is it that distracts us? What is it that we're looking for when we do see books on Amazon or Barnes & Noble? And what makes us click buy? Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to go to you first, Gabby, because you're so tortured by this.
I think at this point, I'm looking for a twist on what I read all the time, because sadly, you can't really, the stories are pretty much set up the same way, and that's sad to say. I'm also looking for something not dystopian. I'm also looking for something, I love a retelling. I do. I love it when you switch it up. You know what I mean? It's the classic themes, but switched up. So as far as like content, that's what I'm looking for. I have a really hard time with because I read so many books. I will tell you that if it's on BookBub and it's on sale and it's slightly intriguing, I'll click it for 99 cents because I know eventually I'll read it. And I also love to gift books to people during the holidays just because it's friends of mine. So if you're going to do, like if you have a series that's already done, and trust me, I guarantee you, I agree your book's worth $9.99, but if you're going to put them in a set, I'm going to buy them if it's slightly discounted because I'm going to want to send those books to somebody. Because, if you love a series, like there's a few series that I adore, I would love to be able to gift them to people. And even young people that I know, like my daughter has a lot of friends that are more avid readers. If I know their birthdays are coming up or Christmas is coming up, I love to gift books. But it's hard when you're already buying so many books and you want to give them away. So for the holidays, I feel like that's a great opportunity to put something on sale for people to be able to gift them. Like people who've already bought your book to be able to gift them, and suggesting it that way might be good too. Did you love my series? Do you know somebody who would love it too at Christmas time? That kind of a thing, because maybe that's an idea that they haven't thought of, but I'm sure they have. But yeah, I will tell you I'm a huge fan of discounted books because if I like the first book, I'm going to read the rest of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about you, Morgan? I hear you scribbling over there. You're writing notes down, aren't you?
Yeah, you can hear that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, funny. No, I just liked something she said.
Well,
Oops, did we lose her?
I think we did.
Okay, well, I have a feeling she was just going to ask me the same question. I guess I could just keep going and see if she jumps back in.
Okay, go for it.
Or should we wait?
No, go ahead. She has to turn it off, so I don't know how to do that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're live, so all right, here we go. I mean, gosh, everything that you said, I love that. Yeah, man, those 99-cent one clicks right now, if they're on sale, if there's a pre-order,
Yeah.
man, it's just so easy because I won't remember to go back and get it when it's
Either.
released.
You're right.
So if it's there, yeah, I'm pushing that one click button.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I did about 5 of them yesterday.
Hi.
Hi.
We tried to continue on.
yeah, I'm so glad you did because I was sitting here thinking, why can't I hear Morgan? Like, what just happened? And then I realized it turned off. I clicked the wrong thing. It was bad. I was trying to get something out of the way so I could see you, Morgan, because something popped up.
Well, we kind of just kept going because I figured you were asking me the same question.
Is it something I need to know?
No, I think no, you don't need to know it. Don't tell her. No, I'm kidding. I think it's mostly stuff that we've talked about before.
Okay.
We were talking about how easy it is to one click, and when there's pre-orders involved, especially for the holidays, it's just convenient, so convenient.
But that it's sneaky?
I don't think so because I don't think it's sneaky. I think it's offering a convenience to your readers.
Okay.
Unless somebody disagrees. I mean, for me, I love it because then I'm like, because I won't remember to go back when it releases. I don't remember when it is. I have too much happening in my head. So if I see it and I want it and it's on a pre-order, yeah, I'm pushing that one click button.
You know what I found somebody did? It was an author that she does books about rugby teams in New Zealand. And I've read almost all of her books, and I first got her book on Amazon Prime, the free books, like you can read it and then you return it, and I loved it. So I've actually even bought the one I got on Amazon Prime. I bought it. Well, then I saw that she was putting out a new book, but when her newsletter came out, it says if you pre-order it, it was 99 cents. And then after it would be regular price, and I was like, I've never heard of anybody doing that. And I went right over to Amazon and bought it because I was like, I'm going to buy this anyways.
Yeah.
It's pre-ordering cheaper, and it'll be in my box right when it's out. Done.
Yeah.
Done deal. Like, I was all about it.
Yeah, I've been seeing a few authors do that, and I guess to add on to that, I've seen an author recently, which I'm considering doing this since I have a release coming up, is that in that pre-order, she had it pre-ordered for 99 cents. The day it released, it was going up to $2.99, but all of the proceeds from the pre-order were going to a charity for the holidays. And so I thought, you know what? I think that's kind of a cool idea.
Mm-hmm. It is. I will admit that I'm broaching this subject with ulterior motives because I want to throw an idea out there because I feel like that I'm considering something, but I'm not sure I want to commit to it. Again, this is one of those crazy ideas. It may not come to fruition, but I have thought about for like the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, lowering the price of Descent for readers, but the incentive being that I include chapter 1 of the second novel.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not finished writing the second novel, but I do feel very secure with my chapter 1. It's a good foundation. It's not like it's setting up this new world or anything because you've already read book 1 if you've read it. So for me, it would be a push, but I think it could happen where I could get that chapter 1 ready. But do you think that it's worth the effort to do something like that? And then, of course, the price would go back up to $2.99 after that special weekend, and then maybe do another, exclusive or something in January. But how do you? Is that something that intrigues either of you?
I think it intrigues me as a reader just because I did that with Myra McIntyre's book Timepiece, which I already owned, but there was a paperback version that had the first chapter of the next book in it. And I might have gone out in my pajamas to get it when they were doing a contest about it because I wanted the next chapter of the next book. So I feel like it's incentive, and even if the chapter changes, they have something that nobody else has. And I think that's super cool to have an extra bit that might not be completely the same in the next book, because then you feel like you have like secret stuff, or like stuff somebody else doesn't have. I think it's cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be a lot of extra work because you're just re-uploading one time as long as you're not taking it down.
Right.
As far as the actual work.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to charge people $2.99 to buy the book again, but for it to be on sale for 99 cents, I thought, man, it'd be so cool if I could add a little bit of something from book 2 because I'm working on it right now. But I know Morgan and I've talked about this before. I've also considered the idea of like throwing in a chapter 1 or a chapter 1 through 3 of someone else's book if they were up for it, that kind of thing, which I know that a lot of authors do to help promote each other. And it's kind of one of those things, like I feel like that I want to do something fun for the holidays for readers and give them a little something extra. Whether it's from me or from one of my friends that I love their books. But it's one of those things I just kind of was curious because as readers, we all know what we like. We all know what we want. We all know what we'll pay for. I just have a really hard time being objective when it comes to my own book. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose what you could do too is if you put it up kind of a special exclusive or new edition after a period of time, you could then also put it or post it on your website too, so that readers who already had your book then could still read the material, also promoting for the second book. But I don't know, just an idea.
Yeah. Like I said, in my brain, everything starts out as this little seed, and then it grows and grows until it doesn't fit anymore, and I have to kick it out. And sometimes it works, and sometimes I just kick it out, and I never look back at it again. And it's just, this is just one of those ideas that has been a little bit more intriguing than some of my other ideas, so I thought I'll bring it to the forum here. See what you two think about it.
Yeah.
Are there any holiday events that you guys are going to that are book related?
No. No.
That's one thing I've noticed. I've heard and seen a few book signings online where there are authors at bookstores doing signings, but there aren't really any conventions after this weekend. Y'all Fest was this weekend that I know of. I should say that. And part of that, I'm sure, is because of the holidays. But I will say, and I kind of wanted to bring this up, there are a ton of virtual events, like online events, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. There are so many authors and bloggers doing things that are online.
That's true.
How are you getting involved with those?
Let's see. Well, I'm doing a couple Facebook events. Callie and I are doing one for Black Friday, Cyber Monday that weekend with a ton of other authors. So there's quite a few of those kind of things happening. So I'm involved in a couple of those. I'm involved in and I'm not even sure what the event is called, but it's an auction to help another author that's had some medical issues. What else? So, just kind of things like that. I can't remember what I'm doing actually.
Well, Gabby, are you participating?
Stuff like that.
I don't have anything actually. I'm not really doing anything. So if anyone needs help with something this holiday season, I don't have anything going on. As far as like anything online or anything like that, no.
But do you guys like to go to them, even if you're not involved in them? Do you always click join? Do you click maybe? Do you click decline when it comes to some of those events that are being put out there?
It depends on what they are and who they're for. A lot of them I will click join because I want to be supportive, but then a lot of times I forget to go back to the event. My bad. Just being honest.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to be honest, and that's one thing that I love and hate about my iPhone is that it notifies me every time someone posts in something that I've joined. So I get the notification, and even if I can't make the entire event, I do try to reply or respond or comment on something.
Something.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pop in if it's authors that I enjoy. I mean, it definitely has to be somebody that at least one person I know what they write. If they have something intriguing, like maybe information about a book that intrigues me, I'll look it up because most times I'm interested. So yeah, I would be interested to do more stuff here around town, and there are some local bookshops that do a couple things. They just haven't had any authors. I think around our area, we don't really get a lot of YA author events, which is pretty much what I would go to. We don't get a ton of them. So when there is some, I know that I've asked you guys to come along, when I've noticed somebody. But, yeah, I would do it.
Go. I see the ooh face.
I was just going to remind you, or tell you guys, I'm trying to find it. I'll text you later, but somebody is coming to the to your Cool Springs Barnes & Noble. Who was it? I want to say Lee Bardugo. Is that her name?
Cool. Yeah.
Name? The end of the month, I think. I was going to tell you.
I love it. Thank you. I need those heads up.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
Well, okay. I think we did a good job of covering our bases here. I think that we'll probably click stop broadcast and think of a few other ideas or things that are going on this holiday season. But we plan on not maybe being super punctual the weeks that we have a holiday, but I mean maybe 3 out of the 4 weeks we could definitely do some sort of broadcast and talk about some things that are going on. I really do want to get on and really explore kind of what our plans are for next year. I think we can inspire each other, especially with 10K word count goals. But I think also we can kind of help some other people. I think that also it's really neat that all of us have obviously different schedules. We have different word count goals. We have different ideas of what we want to accomplish. And I think it also kind of gives people a little bit of hope, because even if they can't do a whole lot, they can see people that also can't do a ton, but they're still getting stuff done. But anyway, do y'all have anything else you want to add before we, say bye and that stuff?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. That's a good feeling then. Okay, well then for everyone that's watching, have a really great week. Make sure and write, whether it's on the go or in the coffee shop or in the living room with screaming children running around you. Just get it done, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Hashtag #LoveWriteCreate. Use it. Let us know that you're watching. We will use it and try and encourage and maybe even kick butt. Just be ready, ladies. I might be getting a little snarky with you guys on social media just to see if we can get our rears in gear a little bit.
Bring it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to click stop now. Bye, everybody.
Bye. See you later.